The next speaker is Cynthia Quinteros. Cynthia, are you there? Yeah, well, I can see at least your presentation. Cynthia, well, she's from Argentina, but this presentation is is connected with the University of Groningen in Germany. And the title is Difficulties in Astronomy Teaching in Argentinian Education Systems. Well, Cynthia, the presentation is very good. If you want to turn on your camera, will be great. And well, your stage.
Thank you very much. My camera is on. You cannot see me. You say you cannot see me?
Yes, Cynthia, we can see you now.
Yes.
Okay,
perfect. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity of being here. Good morning, good afternoon, depending where you are. My name is Cynthia Quinteros, and I will be presenting an analysis that we have conducted with Diego Valperin. First of all, let me briefly mention that I speak on behalf of an education program that is already more than 15 years old, located in the south of Argentina, which has been supported by national universities and sponsored by different sources of funding. The project aims at promoting education and dissemination of astronomy, involving people in building their own knowledge by means of meaningful experiences and scientific methodology. To achieve that goal, we form and consolidate groups of secondary students to learn astronomy and simultaneously to share their knowledge with others. In this way, other audiences can be reached and the effect is multiplicative. We also work with pre-service and in-service teachers, listening to their insights and on the topics of astronomy and helping them with tools and resources to design their professional practice. The core of the project is interdisciplinary, involving teachers, both university and high school, as well as scientists, both natural and social scientists. And some of us have even been involved in some scientific publications on astronomy didactics. And in that context, an evaluation of the current state of astronomy education is what we present in the following. So before starting, we should mention which are the contents specifically advised by the National Education Ministry to be taught at the schools of the country. It is also worth mentioning that those are not mandatory, since the structure of provinces that organize our country also take their own decisions in this regard. They are basically the everyday phenomena like day and night, seasons, moon phases, planets in a solar neighborhood, nothing too complex. Already in the level of high school, the guidelines from the ministry include some more complex phenomena like stars at the main sequence that are tackled in specific subjects like chemistry and physics. And it is also worth highlighting the situation of our country regarding research experience in the field of astronomy didactics and the presence of projects with decades-long experience in the topic. Being fair with all of them will require an extensive review of the different proposals, which unfortunately is not our aim today, but to partially compensate this, we have included a couple of relevant publications by some of the professionals leading those initiatives. I will show you the reference at the end. So regarding the topic of the talk itself, difficulties in astronomy teaching in the Argentinian school, there have been previous attempts to drive the attention towards this issue in our country, both in 2008 and 2013. So this is a sort of an update that includes some unconsidered aspects. And finally, which are those difficulties that we have referred to? Well, to answer this question, we have organized the ideas in this map that I am showing. As you can see, we observe obstacles for a significant learning in different planes in teachers' formation, this is to say teachers in pre-service, teachers' resources, with which we mean the tools that teachers have at hand to propose attractive, engaging, and scientifically precise didactic proposals. And finally, the approach. With the later, we refer to the fact that some of the topics may be identified to be taught in elementary school, are usually taught using heliocentrism theory, which in our opinion is detrimental of the necessary significant learning to then build a more complex approach in the future and then to swap to it in a comprehensive manner. We understand these three planes are in principle related to two main aspects that are the ones I will discuss a little further, which are the resources and the approach. When you look for attractive proposals to teach these astronomical topics, there is plenty of content available, both in educative textbooks and in general media. Keeping aside non-scientific theories, which we won't be speaking about, we can mention 4 categories of difficulties. Here we are focusing in a recent analysis of multimedia resources, such as YouTube videos as a follow-up study of the textbooks that we have performed and have been performed by many authors in the recent past. Firstly, it is worth mentioning that for Spanish speakers and mainly focusing on teachers that may not be proficient in other languages, one obvious obstacle is that the content of some really high quality is out of scope. In addition, when looking for resources in Spanish, it is quite often to find proposals from European countries. Spain will be a perfect example of that, which of course includes some references to the Northern Hemisphere sky. Here I show an example, taken from a video explaining the trajectory of the sun in the northern and southern sky during the equinox. The 2 images correspond to different shots of the video in which the audio correctly explains how the sun rises exactly from the east and sets at the west, but the trajectory covers left to right in the 2 hemispheres, which is an example of these wrong extrapolations. We claim that these contradictions between the supposedly academic content, let's say, proposed by the teacher of the course, and the student's experience, if not properly spot, will do nothing but reinforce the gap already reported to exist between the scholar content and their everyday intuition, mainly preventing the necessary reflection to occur. Additionally, we have surveyed some resources, especially designed for children, finding an overwhelming amount of mistakes, for instance, the identification of the moon strictly to the night, but also including problems in didactic transposition, mentioning light blue skies when cartoon characters are floating in the deep space. Speaking about the approach, as we mentioned before, alternative to the heliocentric approach, disregarding the age of the kids, we propose, as it has been already documented for many authors, and we have been working in this line for the years of the project, that the topocentric approach that emphasizes the observer's experience and relates scientific content with personal experiences promotes better results involving the subject in direct sky glance and becoming the knowledge accessible by one's own experience by using scientific methodology. Of course, the final explanation for some of these phenomena, like day and night or seasons, do arise on the movement of the Earth, either the spin or the translation around the sun. Nevertheless, we can perfectly describe the phenomena using the topocentric point of view until the students are ready to extrapolate their conclusions to other more complex systems of reference. In addition, phenomena like the moon phases are only understandable from a topocentric point of view. So then why not to shift our approach not only for elementary and secondary students, but also for pre-service teachers to make it easier for the observer that upon own experience build explanations about the natural phenomena around. And
2 minutes,
to sum up,
Cynthia.
Yeah, thank you. To sum up, as a take-home message, we would like to leave these highlights. Achieving an educative proposal of good quality arises on making it experienceable, enjoyable, understandable, achievable, and scientifically supported. There are promising perspectives in the field, and even when there are wonderful initiatives sparkling across the country in Argentina, we need the joint effort from natural and social scientists, but mainly from teachers whose expertise should guide any alternative proposal. And leaving the main references that we have used for this perspective in the screen, I would like to thank you all for your attention, and I am open for taking questions.
Thank you very much, Cynthia.